Fantastic pie, full all the way to the top, lovely pastry. Just serve it with whatever you want, chips and peas. Hi guys, how you all doing? Welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today, easy comfort food pie. We're going to make a minced beef and onion pie. So easy, so quick, let's do it. Okay, in a pan with some butter and flame on. Now I always like to start my pies off, like my beef pies with onion and things, with a bit of butter in there. You know, and it is a little knob of butter, look. It is quite big. And then we're going in with a little bit of ground garlic. Garlic is optional, guys. And our onions. Now we're not bothered about the butter being completely melted down before we add the ingredients. It's going to melt down anyway. Go in with a little pinch of salt and some black pepper. Then all we need to do is start sweating these onions down very quickly. Now we're not going to cook these for long because we're actually going to put the mince in and cook it all together. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in with my dried thyme. So get the thyme in there. Now the thing is with the thyme, it's going to rehydrate in there with the onions and the butter. And it's going to put that flavour in there. As soon as we put the meat in, it's going to be able to transfer it to the meat. And then we just want to go in with our mince. So we need to start breaking it up and cooking it down together. Very easy. Now use any mince that you want, guys. You know, I have absolutely no idea what this is. It looks quite lean in places, you know, but I'm not 100% certain what it is. Unfortunately, with the supermarkets here where I am, if the meat is a couple of days old, they mince it up. And that's how they get around selling meat that's been out on display. So just give it a little bit of a cooking in there, you know, break it up as you go along. We don't want to have massive cubes of beef mince. And it will break up quite easily as we cook. Now this procedure is going to take about 7 or 8 minutes actually to get this cooking in here. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go in with a good 1.5 tablespoons of tomato puree. Now if you're using only 500 grams of mince, go in with about 1 tablespoon. But I've got nearly 1 kilo of mince here. Give that a little gentle stir in there. Now it shouldn't catch on the bottom because there's enough fluid from this mince and the butter that went in there and the fluid from the onion, so you know it should be okay. And then we want to go in with a glug of Worcestershire sauce. About 1 tablespoon will do, no more. This smells amazing already, actually. This smells really, really good. Now this is simple home cooking, you know, this is really easy to do. And then what we need to do is just go in with our beef stock. Oh, it's a bit lumpy there, look. Not to worry, it'll cook. Give that a stir in. Now, it looks a lot, guys, but we're going to cook this for about 10 minutes. And we're also going to use this for the gravy. And then we don't have to make any extra gravy, and we're going to take on all that flavour that we've been cooking in that pan. And then all we need to do is go in with a couple of bay leaves. Get your bay leaves in there. Now, bay leaves are optional, obviously, but you know, they do impart a little bit of a flavour, you know. And we are going to take them out before we actually make our pie. Now, we're turning it down to about a rolling simmer, you know. Not a rolling boil, a rolling simmer. You know, you can still see it's bubbling at the sides. And then we're going to put a lid on. Put a lid on and we're going to cook it for about 10 minutes. So put a lid on, it's not the right size lid, but that doesn't matter. Put the lid on and we're going to cook it for about 10 minutes. And all we're going to do is give it a stir every now and again to make sure it's not sticking on the bottom of the pan. So like I said, just keep giving it a little stir and keep cooking for about 10 minutes. And then we'll take the bay leaves out and cook for about, I don't know, maybe it's another 5 minutes just to cook off a little bit of that fluid. We'll see as we go along. Oh, that looks wonderful. What we're going to do now is we're going to take this lid off and we're just going to give it about 5 minutes without the lid on. Just see if we can get a little bit of thickness in our gravy and our meat. Now that's looking absolutely superb. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to scoop out some of this mixture with this sieve-like thing. So I've turned off the flame because what I want to do, I actually want to leave that gravy in there, look, and take out a lump of this meat mixture. And then we're going to put that in a tub. Now you don't have to do this, guys, but this way I get my gravy and I've got my meat mixture, which is nice and moist, for my pie. And what we don't want those bay leaves. The bay leaves have done their job. So we need to get them out of there. So let's just carry on scooping out some of this meat mixture and leaving that really thick meaty gravy behind. So what we got going on now, look guys, we've got this lovely thick rich meaty gravy. Now it's not a lot, but it's enough for our pies. When we make our pie, there's enough gravy there. Now you can water it a little bit and you can add a bit more stock and you can thicken it up. But that is wonderful thick meaty gravy. And what we've got there, we've got lovely moist meat ready for our pie. Now that is very moist. All we have to do now is let this cool before we make it. Right, let's get our pastry rolled out. A little bit of flour on there. Take our pastry. Now, there's a link on the site, guys, up here or there, and in the description of how to make this pastry. Now, we want a lid, we want a base. So, 2/3, 1/3. Give that a bit of a scrunching up, flattening out, put back on there. So a bit of flour on our pastry, bit of flour on our pin, and off we go. Now this is the size tin I'm using, but obviously it's got to come up the side as well, so we need to give it a good rolling out, probably to about that distance there. That should be about okay. So let's pick up that pastry over our pin, put our tub down, our pie tin, and over the top with our pastry. Nice and easy. And then all we're going to do is work it in. Lift up and in. Very easy. Let's not make hard work out of it. So push it all the way down into the bottom. We don't want any of those air pockets in there. Now that's easy. All we need to do now is take a little bit of this off. Now I'm not going to take it all off because I want a little bit of an overhang, because I'm going to fold it all back over and we're going to make a fairly thick crust. So slightly under the rim with the back of a knife. Now this is nice and easy, and that pastry is usable. So we'll just put that to one side just in case we need to use it with our lid. Okay, so that is our pie base. All we need to do now is put some filling in. So that's our filling, nice and cool. So all we need to do now is plump it in our pie. Now get right into the bottom at the sides. Right in there, push it down. Now we want all our filling in there. You know, we're making a pie. We're not making an air pie. And I've said this many times before. How many times have you had a pie and it's been all air? That is our pie filling ready for the lid. That's easy as that, guys. So pie to one side. Bit of flour, boom. Take that bit of pastry that we selected for the lid and we want to roll it out. That looks about okay, look. That's fine. So what we need to do now, we need to put some glue on our pie. So this is just a beaten egg, and we don't want much of it, but we want a little bit of egg round there to help our pastry stick together. Now I know this might be teaching everybody how to suck eggs, but you know, guys, there will be somebody making a pie for the first time. And then all we need to do, pick up our pastry, take our pie and lay the pastry over the top. And there we are. Now all we're going to do, just crimp it a little bit like this, very quickly. Not hard. So that's set it up just a little bit. Now what I want to do is take that and fold it in like this. Tuck it under that other piece of pastry, our base. So we're going to put quite a thick pastry lid on this, but that's fine. So tuck it under all the way around. So we've got our pie like that now, and then all we need to do is the 2 finger, 1 finger. So 2 finger, 1 finger. So that is our wonderful looking pie. Now we have to put some air holes in here to let the steam out. But what we're going to do, we're going to actually egg wash it first, and then we'll put the air holes in. So a little bit of egg wash over our pie. So that's our beautiful, beautiful pie. And then I'm going to put 3 little splits in the top. And that is going to let out the steam when it's cooking. And if it spills out slightly, well, so be it. Right guys, in the oven set to 190 degrees. I'm going to put this in for about 45-50 minutes. Oh, just look at that beauty. That is sensational. Right guys, it's too hot to do anything with at the moment as usual, so we're going to have to let it cool down a bit, and then we're going to take a slice. Oh, amazing. Now that is how to make a mince and onion pie. Fantastic pie, full all the way to the top, lovely pastry. Just serve it with whatever you want, chips and peas. And you remember some of that gravy we had from earlier? Oh. Absolutely fantastic. Oh man. That is superb. Fantastic mince and onion pie made. Now if you like what we're doing guys, don't forget, smash that like and subscribe, share with your friends, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to stuff my face. Till next time, take care.